Welcome back. Here's a number for you. $1.3 trillion. That is how much people owe in student loans in the United States right now. My next guest has a program that will have employers help their employees out with their student loan debt. Joining us right now is the CEO and founder of Gradifi. He's Tim DeMello. Tim, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Maria.
How important are these plans for employees? Tell us how this works.
Yeah, so the way that the program works is we've designed a new employee benefit plan. It's called a Student Loan Paydown Plan, SLP plan. And a lot of people are starting to see it now, somewhat as a precursor to the 401k. Because what you have is you have a lot of millennials, 22, 25, 26, who are saying retirement's one thing, but I have $35,000, $50,000, $75,000 in student debt.
I got to get out of this.
I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
So we've been working for about a year now behind the scenes. We just announced our new plan, and PricewaterhouseCoopers is our first client.
So this is a perk to get talented people in the company where with the promise of, okay, we will help you pay this down.
Yeah, so PwC, as an example, is 46,000 U.S. employees, and they estimate as many as 15,000 of them have student loans, averaging about $35,000. They also recruit about 10,000 people off college campuses every year. So they've just put a program together with us where they will pay $100 a month for 72 months into an employee's plan. So what that does is that takes that $35,000, which with interest is about $42,000, and it takes 25% right out of the loan.
Wow.
So instead of being 22, having a loan to 32, you're out at 29.
Yeah.
So
How does this work for tax purposes? Does a student have to pay taxes on the perk that it's getting from the company to pay off student debt, which has tax-free elements to it?
Yeah, what's interesting is right now there's a tax law where you can do educational assistance, which is $5,250. So if you take a course, your company can pay for that, and you don't have to pay any taxes up to that level.
Yeah.
There's now bills out there circulating that if an employer pays into a student loan account up to $6,000, that'll also be tax exempt. Right. So it's taxable right now, but we think in the future it's going to change.
If my boy Bernie had his ways, it would all be free. Right. You know, you would have free education. You know, that's what we have here. But you know, at the base level, isn't what John said the point where I, the employer, now pay down your debt, and you don't have to pay down debt on your post-tax or your post-tax earnings. I mean, that's the perk for the employees.
That's absolutely where it's headed.
I don't know how somebody would refute that politically in this environment. It seems like it would be pretty popular.
The problem is there's so many distortions in the tax code which are driving up all of the student debt in the first place. It reminds me a little bit of what happened in housing, where we had all these subsidies for housing, and people went out and took on more mortgages.
If you're worried about your student debt and getting out of college or just starting the workforce, why not go work for the government? You get your debt forgiven over a period, after you work for the government for a period of years. Why aren't more people doing that? Maybe they are.
I think we want people to select where they want to go and not be driven by their student loans, right? They want to be sort of free to go where they want to go. But, I think that what's starting to happen is employers are really seeing this as a major opportunity to sort of help and attract people. So
are these people with graduate degrees who are using this, or undergrad?
Undergrad and graduate degrees.
Yeah.
If you look at the U.S. in May, we graduated 3.4 million people in May with college degrees. 2.9 million of them had student debt averaging $35,000.
That's
just new. Is this going to help the little guy like the Walmart? Like, is Walmart going to do something like this for its employees, or is this just something that's going to help very educated, high-income households?
What I can tell you is since we announced the program, we've had hundreds of companies inquire who want to do this, all makes and sizes, from financial technology companies out in the Valley to banks here in New York to retailers. Everybody's looking at this as a way to help people out.
Right now, do you have to pay tax on it as the individual?
Right now you do.
Yeah,
That's
you do.
correct.
Okay,
so it's a benefit that you get.
But I'm paying tax on money I never actually saw in my hands. It goes back to I'm too irresponsible to actually pay off my loans myself. I need the company to do it for me.
But it's an additional benefit. So it's a new benefit that they're adding for you. So, it's just extra money.
I'd rather pay the tax than the loans.
Seems like it's resonating.
Oh, absolutely. It's really starting to take off.
When you got 1.3 trillion of it, Maria, there's probably a lot of resonating to do.
Yeah. Well,
the budget office in Washington estimates it'll be 2.6 trillion in 10 years.
It's crazy.
Student loans are higher than credit card debt and auto loans.
But You say it's an additional benefit. I would think that they would be paying me that in salary and not in benefit. If I went to them and say, hey, I don't want the benefit, I want the cash.
Yeah, you might go spend that and not pay that.
Like, help me, baby. I don't have student debt. I want the money. That's what companies are going to be faced with.
But a lot of people want to get out from under their debt right now. That's what part of what happened after the financial crisis. Especially millennials, they want to be debt free. They don't want that burden.
You imagine someone who says, I wasn't dumb enough to take on student loan debt. I have a car loan. Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of this is a slippery slope.
It's just such a huge focus that companies are just really trying to help out on. In surveys, most people will tell you they want to cut it in half. They want to be out in 5 years. So this is an initial program. We have others that we're bringing. Our goal is to reduce 25 to 50% for anyone on the program.
Because we all recognize this is a major issue, and it could turn into a crisis if it's not a crisis already. Tim, good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Really, we'll be watching Gradifi for sure. Tim DeMello. Coming up next.